Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kendall. Welcome to my very first reading vlog. Now, I am very excited for this video, not only because it's my first reading vlog, but because I am doing it with a blind date with a book. So I have absolutely no idea what this is. This is a blind date with a book from my friend Haley's Etsy shop, HEYHELLOBOOKISH. I will link it and her socials down below. You should definitely check her out. She is one of the nicest people I've ever met. She actually sent me a care package a couple months ago and included was this, and I was like, I definitely need to do a reading vlog for this. On Haley's Etsy shop, you can find bookmarks, annotation kits, blind dates with a book, Kindle inserts, all of that kind of stuff, so definitely check it out. The only thing that I know about this book is that it is a YA fantasy, which she did a little letterpress at the top, and it's also decorated so cute. I love the wax melt and the washi tape, so I'm very excited to see what this is. Without further ado, let's crack it open. Eee! I'm so nervous, but excited. It's the Cruel Prince! Okay, I am so excited for this. I was kind of hoping it was going to be the Cruel Prince because this has been on my TBR for so long. I have heard so many good things about this book and this series, so I am so incredibly excited to read it. The only thing that I know about this is that obviously it's YA fantasy and that there are two characters, Jude and I want to say Carden. I think those are the two main characters. I think Jude has like the hair horns from what I've seen on like TikTok and Instagram, but I am so excited to read this. This is by the author Holly Black, who I've also heard great things about. I know this is a very popular book talk, booktube, bookish series, so I cannot wait to experience it for myself. I'm pretty sure there are like 3 books in this series. I know there's like The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Stolen Heir, and I think one more, but I might be wrong. So let me read the back of it. Sharpen your blade, harden your heart. Jude, I was right. Jude was 7 when her parents were murdered, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen away to live in the treacherous High Court of Fairy. 10 years later, Jude wants nothing more than to belong there, but many of the Fae despise humans, especially King Carden. Okay, I was right about that too. The youngest and wickedest son of the High King. To win a place at the court, Jude must defy him and face the consequences. From #1 New York Times bestselling author Holly Black comes the first book in a stunning trilogy, okay, it's a trilogy, filled with twists and enchantment as one girl learns the meaning of true power. Okay, so the sequel for this is The Wicked King. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This has been on my TBR for so long. I've been wanting to read this for ages. So the fact that this was the blind date with a book is very exciting. Thank you so much, Haley. I cannot wait to read this and share my thoughts throughout this video on the book. Let's dive in, jump into the book. Okay, reading check-in on The Cruel Prince. I am on page 152, about to start chapter 16, and I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like this is a good fantasy book to get me back into the genre because it's been quite a bit since I've read a fantasy book. Maybe because it's YA, but I found the world building to be easier to understand than maybe like a high fantasy adult book. So I'm enjoying it. My only complaint at the moment is we're not getting really any enemies to lovers. We're definitely getting just enemies. I'm like a little under halfway through, but I am sitting here just like, when are these enemies going to become lovers? When are they going to like start flirting, you know? But haven't gotten to it yet. I'm expecting it to pick up in a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like maybe halfway through it'll start to pick up. Who knows? Future me is probably going to be watching this like year silly. So I've learned that Jude is completely human. She has a sibling that is not, and a twin sister and a younger sibling as well. Her parents are murdered, and then she is taken into the fairy world by her father to kind of live out the rest of her life with the fairy. And a lot of the fairy have special abilities, special powers, but like I said, since Jude is human, she has none. So it's kind of like how she finds her way in the world. And it's really interesting because I was not expecting this to be like, I wouldn't say present day, but like the human world to have technology, like malls, all of that kind of stuff. Like it kind of takes place in a present day, whatever that may be, but they have technology, all of that stuff. And then the fairy world obviously is the opposite. And it's really interesting how they go back and forth between the human world and the fairy world, and how they're like, the fairy world lives underneath. It's more of like abandoned islands and maybe forests. I thought that was really interesting. I kind of was like, oh, that's a cool touch. But so Jude is in school and there's a big group of bullies, and that includes Prince Carden. There is a lot of bullying that goes on between her and him and his friends, or I don't even know if it's his court, but that's like, I'm just like, I know one day this is gonna switch up and Carden's gonna be like, oh, I actually like you. But we've gotten a little bit of hint of that. So Jude has also been kind of taken as a spy, not taken as a spy, hired as a spy for Prince Carden's older brother, Dane. And so she has been kind of sneaking into different castles. And the one part that I read that I was just like, ooh, it's slowly happening, was when she found the note inside of the Alice in Wonderland book that just had her name over and over and over and over. And she's like, oh, he hates me so much, like I can't imagine his wrath. And I'm like, girl, it's probably the opposite. He probably can't stop thinking about you. Like, you're infiltrating his every thought, and he's just trying to write your name to get you out of his head. That's my thought. I got a little, ooh, enemies to lovers. She's gonna be oblivious to it, but I'm excited for that to proceed. Jude also wanted to become a knight and take place in a tournament, but her father was like, you're never gonna become a knight. You don't have like the ability or power to kill someone. I think that's what it was. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering. But so she went through the tournament, and there was an incident with her and Carden, which is just like, ooh. Every time something happens between two of them, I'm just like, ooh. I am predicting that something fishy is happening with Locke. Like, he's all, oh, I'm interested in Jude, like, you're beautiful, almost kisses her, that kind of thing. And I don't know. I just don't see it as genuine. I expect there to be an ulterior motive. I tripped up on that word. I'm expecting there to be an ulterior motive. I'm not sure what that might be. Maybe it's so she doesn't get caught up in a romance with Carden. And so if Carden does maybe profess his love for her, it's too late. And Locke is like, oh, she's with me. I don't know. I also am expecting that Dane is not going to become king. They keep talking about that. Like, they just had a dressmaker come to their house to make dresses for them for, I believe, the coronation for Dane. But part of me is like, something tells me that's not going to happen, and that Carden is actually going to become king. That's just my theory at the moment. I'm just like, there's no way this is going to go as easy as people think, but we shall see. But yeah, that is my reading check-in. I am enjoying it so far. I'm excited for what's to come. It is reading really quickly, so I think I can finish this in the next couple of days for sure, which is great. Yeah, basically, I just can't wait for the enemies to start loving on each other. Because this is YA, I'm not expecting any like spice or anything, but even in a YA book, like, the enemies to lovers pipeline, it can be good, can be very good. I'm looking at you, Dance of Thieves. I do really enjoy the fact that Jude is now a spy for Carden's brother. Like, I feel like she's gonna get found out at some point by Carden. And so I'm just excited for that moment. Maybe she'll like catch him doing something wrong and he'll be like, oh, what's going on? I knew it was you. I don't really know, but I'm excited for the moment that Carden finds out. I do think it's very wholesome. I don't know, wholesome might not be the right word, that Jude now has these 3 other spies for Dane that she can kind of call friends. I don't know, they like help her train. I'm yet to find out what nickname they're gonna give her. I'm excited to see that, but I'm glad that she's found her little family. I mean, I don't even know if you call them a family, but that she has friends, because it doesn't really seem like she has that many. Anyway, I'm gonna read a little bit more, maybe get a little over halfway, check back in, we shall see. Okay, it is the next day, but I have some thoughts on what I read yesterday. So Jude was hanging out with Locke, they were kissing, and then they went to Locke's house, I guess, and there was like a party, and Locke was like, here's my mother's room, here's some dresses, like take whatever dress you want of hers and try it on. And Jude ended up like staying at Locke's house, and I'm just like, Jude, what are you doing? Like, I don't know, it's just because like I've read so many fantasy books that I'm just like, I don't know what is making me think that something bad is gonna happen and that Locke has an ulterior motive, but I'm just like, let's not. I know she's like, oh, I'm really falling for him, I care for him, all of that stuff, but I'm worried for her. Part of me, I know I mentioned I have a couple of theories with it, but I just like had a light bulb moment of, I don't know if fairies can like force other fairies to do things. Like, I wonder if maybe Cardan or their friends put him up to this, and like maybe at the end of the day he's just wanting to, I guess, humiliate Jude. That's my fear. I'm just like, girl, I'm scared for you. I don't want like Locke to hurt her. I don't want you to be hurt, but I'm really hoping that's not gonna happen. That's just my little check-in right now. I'm just worried for our girl. Y'all, I am officially over halfway. I just finished chapter 18. I'm just sitting here like, why did you do that? So this can only go badly. Like, things can only go badly from here, I fear. And the coronation is like imminently, so I think we're about to get like some drama. I'm nervous again, but we shall see. The entire time in the last chapter, I was just sitting there like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then when it happened, I just sat there like this, reading it. I just sat there like, no, Jude, why did you do that? There is one quote that I really like on page 210. I won't be afraid of him or of Prince Dane's censure. Censure, is that the right pronunciation? If I cannot be better than them, I will become so much worse. That is a badass quote, I'm not gonna lie. Jude's a badass, but also just, why did you do what you did? There was also a sad moment in the previous chapter, or 2 chapters before that, when she tried to save the human girl, Sophie. And again, I was kind of just sitting there like, why did you do this? I understand, but also, why? Because now it's sad and she's sad. But Vivi is a great sister. I love their sister dynamic. I just want to do that quick check-in because I was truly sitting here shook at what was happening. And yeah, about to start chapter 19 on page 213 of like 360? Trying to not, 370. So I have a little over 100 pages left. I'm sensing, I'm hoping the enemies are gonna become more lovers soon. I hope things with Locke disappear. I don't know if disappear is the right word, but kind of just fizzle out. I need Locke gone, like I said, many times. I don't trust him. But yeah, I just want to do that check-in because I'm shook. Anyways, not sure when my next check-in will be, maybe before the final 50 pages or so. But yeah, soon I will be finished with this book. It's the next day from my last reading check-in. I'm on page 312. Shit has hit the fan. So many things are happening. My prediction that Dane was never going to become king came true. There's been like an epic betrayal in more ways than one, but the enemies may be loving. The enemies be loving. Locke also, I knew there was something weird about him. Like I knew it was too good to be true. And I'm just like, I had a feeling. But let's just say Jude and Carden are warming up to each other. At the kiss, I was sitting there like this, reading the kiss, how he gave into it, how he thinks of her. It's just, enemies to lovers hits every time. It is so good. They're not even like lover. All they did was kiss. And I'm just like, I just want to do that check-in. I am very sad that Dane ended up dying. I didn't think that was going to happen. I did think maybe Carden was going to stay mean, but he's warming up. I thought automatically like he would be king, and that has not happened yet. I was not expecting the betrayal that did happen. Like I said, I'm on page 312. They just kissed, and now she is going on her walk after speaking with the Court of Shadows, the Roach, the Ghost, and the Bomb. She's basically like, I talked with Maddox and he offered me whatever I want. Make your lists for what you want, and I'm gonna go on a walk. So we're gonna see. Carden was like, give me land and I want to get far away from this place. And I'm like, you and Jude should go together. Get far away from this place, live happily ever after. Oh, also, the moment of Oak, the reveal of what Oak is. I also was not expecting that. I love how Oriana was just like, who told you that? How did you figure that out? And then spilled everything. I was like, I love her. Hopefully nothing bad comes of her, or she doesn't betray Jude. I don't know. So I'll check in when I'm all finished with this book. Okay, I have finished the book. It's been a couple days because I wanted to make sure my rating made sense. I wasn't overrating it as soon as I finished it, but I am rating it 4 stars. I'm happy with that rating, and I'm gonna tell you why. Well, the ending. The ending was not something I was going to expect. Jude actually put the crown on Carden. I was just like sitting there afterwards like, oh girl. The ending was phenomenal in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I took off some points just because I wish there was more of that enemies to lovers. Yes, there was that one kissing scene where they basically admitted that they like each other. I don't know, maybe it wasn't even like an admittance, but it was like, I hate you. And then when they kissed, and it was just that moment of, it's happening, the enemies are not becoming lovers, but they're maybe less enemies. It was so well done. I was like, this is why enemies to lovers is my favorite trope. Sorry, my cat wanted to walk in front of the camera. I just I loved it. I wish there was a little bit more of that. Yeah, so 4 stars. I'm very excited. I may have already downloaded The Wicked King. Is that what even the second book is called? I may have already downloaded the second one on my Kindle, but I'm very excited. I hope there's more of the enemies to lovers in these next 2 books. I know there's at least 2 more. I don't really know how many in total, but I really enjoyed it, especially for a YA romance. I feel like YA romance can kind of be a hit or miss because I do love a little bit of spice. I will admit that. I am a spice girly. Throw in spice or romantasy and I will be happy. And so that's why I wish there was a little bit more in this, even maybe just a smidge at the end. I was applauding Jude for what she was able to do at the end. I was like, girly pop, wow. You really did that. I was not expecting it. I really thought she was gonna go about the plan. And then it was like, just kidding, Cardin, here you go. I was shocked. I rated it 4 stars. I'm happy with it. I've had a couple of days to think about it. And yeah, I almost went to do 4.5 stars, but I was like, there were some things, it took a little bit to get into the first part of the book. But then once the story really took off, I think it made up for that. So I'm happy with my 4 stars. If you have read The Cruel Prince, please let me know what you thought of it down below, your star rating, or even just leave me a little blurb of a review. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited to do future reading vlogs. Because this is my first one, it's not the best executed, so I think I can only get better from here when it comes to these reading vlogs. I have so many other fun ones planned. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you may be watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.